In the depths of a universe where chaos and order intertwine, the prophecy of the ancient gods took shape. Cronus, the lord of time and sovereign of the Titans, was blinded by power, but also plagued by a deep fear, the possibility that one of his own children would dethrone him. This fear led him to a dark act, devouring his children at birth, erasing any threat to his absolute reign. However, when the last of his children was about to be born, his wife Rhea could not bear the idea of handing another life to the cruel fate imposed by Cronus. Feeling the loss of her children deep in her soul, she devised a desperate plan to save Zeus, her youngest son, from the relentless grasp of Cronus. With cunning and determination, Rhea gave the Titan a stone wrapped in cloth, pretending it was the newborn. Cronus, blinded by fear and urgency, swallowed the stone without realizing the trick. Meanwhile, Zeus was taken to the mountains of Crete, where he would be raised in secret, away from the ravenous eyes of his father. In a cave protected by ancient powers, Zeus was nourished by the sacred milk of the goat Amalthea and cared for by the nymphs. There, under the protection of the mountains and far from the Titans, he grew in safety and strength. Over time, he realized that he was not just a survivor, but the heir to a promise of redemption and justice. Zeus had a mission: to free his brothers and end Cronus' reign of tyranny. As Zeus matured, his heart carried an intense desire to right the wrongs of the past. He knew of the brothers he had never had the chance to meet. Hades, the firstborn, with a somber and contemplative temperament, and Poseidon, the second son, whose vibrant and temperamental spirit was as vast as the ocean. Each of them had been devoured at birth, condemned to exist in the darkness of Cronus' stomach. Zeus often pictured them in his mind, imagining the faces he had never seen, hearing in his mind the voices of the brothers he longed to rescue. These thoughts strengthened his determination and grew his silent rage. Not a destructive hatred, but a just indignation. Upon reaching adulthood, Zeus knew that his destiny awaited him. He trained tirelessly to master the powers of thunder and the skies, and in his spirit was forged a will of steel. When the moment came, he left the mountains and headed to Cronus' domain, carrying with him the courage not only to free his brothers, but to restore order and justice. When Zeus confronted Cronus for the first time, he used his cunning to deceive his father. With a mix of strength and magic, he made Cronus regurgitate Hades and Poseidon, finally freeing them from the eternal captivity where they had been held. Although weakened by their long imprisonment, Hades and Poseidon found strength when they came face to face with their younger brother, Zeus, whose determination was contagious. Hades, having spent so much time in darkness, carried a distant and somber look, but his eyes held the depth of experience and suffering. He understood, more than anyone, the darkness that Cronus spread throughout the universe. Poseidon, on the other hand, was like a storm ready to explode. Upon regaining his freedom, uncontrollable fury emerged, and he felt that his destiny was to bring balance to the seas and the skies. Together, the three brothers prepared to face Cronus in a battle that would shake the very foundations of the cosmos. They knew that to overthrow the Titan, they would need to unite their strengths and unique abilities. Zeus, the youngest, was the natural leader. He ruled the skies and commanded the thunder, symbols of his strength and justice. Poseidon, with power over the waters, carried the depth and fury of the oceans in his soul. And Hades, with a dark and mysterious understanding, controlled the secrets of shadows and death. Each one carried with them an essential part of the natural order of the universe. The ensuing clash was epic. Zeus, armed with lightning, advanced with unwavering determination, launching a fierce attack against Cronus. Beside him, Poseidon invoked waves of power and fury, his trident reflecting the strength of the oceans. And Hades, moving in the shadows, struck unpredictably, channeling an energy that Cronus himself could not comprehend. The universe seemed to tremble, as if all beings, mortal and immortal, held their breath while the gods' battle took place. With each blow from Zeus, the sky trembled and was lit up by lightning. Poseidon, with a single movement, split the ground and made rivers of furious water emerge. Hades, using the powers of shadows and death, attacked Cronus at weak points, his intense gaze filled with cold, calculated rage. The supreme titan, powerful as he was, could not resist the combined assault of his children. He realized that time, which had always been his ally, was now betraying him, and each second made him more vulnerable. When the battle finally reached its climax, Zeus called upon all his power for one final strike, a giant lightning bolt filled with all his determination and sense of justice, cut through the sky and struck Cronus. The explosion of light and energy illuminated the universe, and the Titan fell. Even after defeating his father, Zeus did not seek vengeance. In a gesture of compassion that Cronus would never understand, he chose to imprison him in Tartarus, the dark dimension where he would spend eternity reflecting on his tyranny. With Cronus defeated, the three brothers turned to the task of restoring order to the cosmos. Each accepted a part of the universe to govern, a domain that reflected their strengths and personalities. Zeus, the youngest and just, took the throne of Olympus and became Lord of the Skies, where the power of thunder would continue to resonate. Poseidon, with his indomitable spirit, accepted the reign of the seas, guarding the oceans and commanding the depths of the watery world. Hades, for his part, understood that his destiny was to rule the underworld, where death and renewal coexisted, maintaining the necessary balance between life and death. Thus, the three brothers established a new era of peace and balance, each ruling a fundamental part of the universe. Zeus, now the king of the gods, became a symbol of leadership and justice. By his side, Poseidon and Hades, each with their own realms, respected the pact of harmony. Together, they shaped the fate of the gods and mortals, bringing to the cosmos the stability that Cronus, with his greed and fear, had destroyed. And so, the young god who had been hidden in the mountains of Crete became the Lord of Olympus, the guardian of balance, and the symbol of a new beginning. In his heart, he carried the memory of the battles and sacrifices that brought him there, promising to rule with the wisdom his father had never known. The age of the Titans had ended, and a new era, forged by the union of the three brothers, began the age of the gods.